Welcome to the very first live stream of 2026, and it's almost no, it's already August. I'm thinking this is still July, but it has been 8 months since I have gone live stream about anything. The reason is pretty simple. I got very busy, and just the amount of work that we had with clients and everything else, I just could not go on any live stream. So I do want to go over the Roth IRA today, and I want to make sure that the audio is working great. And let me know if the audio is not doing great, but I'm going to show you guys how the Roth IRA works and how it works with my Roth IRA calculator. And I'm going to show you that, and you can go to the live chat and you can download this thing as well. And it is such a simple tool, and this is the spreadsheet that you can download again with the link that you have. So make sure to download it, and you can go over the calculator with me. And if you still don't have a good understanding of the Roth IRA, I have plenty of videos just describing how Roth IRA works and everything. Okay, so before I get into that, and I appreciate you letting me know that the audio is doing great, and I'm gonna get right into it. So first things first, I'm the realist, and I'm gonna share something here, and I want to go through the quick guideline of how a Roth IRA works. And look at that fancy picture of how the Roth IRAs work, just real quick. Okay, the common misconception is you can't touch your Roth IRA until you're 59 and a half. Partially true, but not entirely true. And I want to break this down real quick, because when you run the calculator with me, with the spreadsheet that you download, you're gonna see a breakdown between the Roth contributions and the Roth earnings. This is such an important thing to understand, and you have to understand the 5-year rule, the Roth conversion, Roth contributions, Roth earnings, how they work. And I have so many videos about them, just absolutely free information, right? And you have a 401k on the left side. Take a look here. You have 401k, 403b, 457 TSP, right? If you're a federal employee, military service members, let me know in the comment section if you are a military service member. I retired from the Air Force last year after 20 years. And TSP, I still have a combat zone TSP left over. I already rolled over my traditional TSP and everything else in Roth TSP. So the most common misconception is that you cannot contribute to your traditional, your Roth IRA and 401k at the same time. It's not true. You have one, this is tied to your employer, right? So if you quit your job today, then you cannot contribute to that employer 401k or TSP 403b or 457 once you leave. But this is your individual retirement account, and that's what we're talking about. You have your traditional IRA and Roth IRA, right? So there are so many rules, and it doesn't need to be such a complicated system, but that's just how Congress likes to do it, is to make things complicated. But let me just break it down. So you have your employer sponsored retirement account, and you have your individual retirement account. The one that I'm going to go over today, that's the Roth IRA calculator right here, okay? But remember, you still have the tool to put money into the Roth 401k, Roth 403b, and Roth TSP. And Rumbler Jones just asked, is there such thing as too many Roth dollars? No, the majority of my assets are in Roth, and I've explained that in previous videos. And so when you continue to work with an employer, let's say with a Roth TSP, okay, you finish working at that job, you roll that over to your Roth IRA, and there's no taxable event because it's going from Roth to Roth. And this is really important because people think that I can only put money into the Roth IRA and let it grow tax-free with the Roth earnings. No, you can contribute up to $24,500 with the Roth 401k, 403b, or TSP, and then you can roll that over to your Roth IRA and take money out early. And I'm gonna explain that in the calculator too. 401k early from your Roth IRA. You don't want to do that with the Roth 401k because there is a thing called a pro rata withdrawal. The Roth 401k is a lot different than the Roth IRA when it comes to the withdrawal strategy. Roth IRA allows you to take out the Roth contributions first and then take out the Roth earnings later. That's the ordering rule that the Roth IRA has. Roth 401k doesn't have that. Roth 401k, if you have, let's say 70%, or we'll just go 50-50. You have $100,000 in the Roth 401k, 50% of that is what you put in. 50% is what the investments grew, what we call Roth earnings. So when you take out, let's say 10,000 from the Roth 401k and you're not 59 and a half yet, then you're gonna get 50% of that, $5,000 out of the $10,000 will be considered Roth contributions and you don't get taxed or penalized for that. But the other $5,000 that you take out of the $10,000 will be considered Roth earnings, and that will be an unqualified withdrawal or distribution. Then you're gonna get 10% penalty, and you're gonna get hit with a federal and state income taxes on the Roth earnings, just the $5,000 of it, okay? So I wanna make that clear. You have 5K, oops, select my pen, there we go. You have 5K earnings, excuse my handwriting, it's terrible. And then I have 5K contributions. This portion is tax-free and penalty-free. This portion, if I am not 59 and a half yet, then I'm gonna get taxed and penalized for it. So you don't wanna take out Roth 401k, 403b or TSP, even under the rule of 55, because the Roth has its own rules, and the Roth earnings, you have to wait until you're 59 and a half, you meet the 5-year rule. So the backdoor of doing it is by just moving this entire thing, or I should say just the entire Roth 401k over to the Roth IRA, so that when you take out 10,000 of it, okay, this becomes completely tax-free and penalty-free because Roth IRA lets you take money, the Roth contributions out first before you touch the Roth earnings. Once you run out of that Roth IRA contributions, then they're gonna start taking money out of the Roth earnings portion of it. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't, okay? Now, when it comes to the breakdown, okay, this is very, very important to understand. In your Roth IRA, let's just go into it, and even in the Roth 401k, but let's talk about Roth IRA. You have your Roth contributions and Roth earnings. Roth contributions, you do not get taxed or penalized. Roth earnings, on the other hand, you do not meet the 5-year rule, you're still gonna get taxed. If you do not meet the 59 and a half in the 5 years, then you get taxed. Oh my God, my handwriting is terrible. Taxed and penalized, all right? That's how it works. And that's what you have to pay attention to, okay? So the calculator itself, it's gonna show you, you have your contributions and earnings, and it's gonna really break it down for you. And if you have never looked at your tax forms, which 90% of the people don't, they don't, okay? You have to go to your Roth 401k website, and let me see here. Oh, not Roth 401k website. It is the, what do you call that? Roth IRA website on your broker. And it's gonna literally show you where your money is being contributed. And you have to go to the brokerage account. Let me see here. Go to the brokerage statement on your broker website, and I want you to search for tax form 5498, okay? So what that does is, let me just see if I can show you an example of a tax form 5498. Should be able to. Yep, there we go. So I'm gonna share that 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Then it's going to show you how much of it was your Roth IRA contributions and how much of it was in the Roth IRA conversions. If you do the backdoor Roth conversion because you're over the Roth IRA income limits. And it's going to show you that. If you're over the Roth IRA income limit, it's going to show you how much you have contributed under box 3. And then, and also if you did a rollover, let's say you did a Roth 401k to Roth IRA rollover, it's going to show you how much of that was in Roth rollover contributions, okay? And when you log in, just make sure you select the right account. You have to, when you look at the 5498, there's gonna be a traditional IRA 5498 and there's the Roth IRA 5498. So the other mistake that people make is not knowing which IRA they have, and they thought that they were contributing money into the Roth IRA the whole time, but it was actually just traditional IRA, which is really sad to see because you could have grown so much money in tax-free, but those earnings become tax deferred, right? So huge difference there. So take a look at your 5498 and figure out how much money, how much of your entire Roth IRA balance was in contributions. That's really the key thing here, because that is your bridge account between during your early retirement. So if you retire at 55 and you wanna have additional income source, your Roth IRA contributions could be that bridge fund, right? So if you have maxed out your Roth 401k or Roth TSP over the last, let's say 10 years, right? And you have over $250,000 in Roth contributions from the Roth 401k, and that could be your early retirement fund, and divide that by 5, and that's gonna give you what, $50,000 a year, right? $50,000 in tax-free income during your early retirement. And this is why understanding these rules and understanding how Roth IRA works is gonna really help you understand where you are financially. If you're able to retire early, or if you have to wait a little bit longer because you need to max out your Roth 401k a little bit early, not max out, but contribute more to the Roth 401k that we have. And you can sign up on the website, and that's gonna be, it should be in the description below, and check it out. But anyway, so this is the Roth IRA calculator, and it is very, very simple to use, okay? And I'm gonna use, let's say use my age as an example. I'm not gonna give you my exact birthday here, but I'm just gonna say I am going to be 40 this year, in a month, but I'm gonna put today's date anyway. So I'm gonna be 40, okay? And I am married, very happily married, and I'm gonna put my income, let's just say, I'm gonna bring it to $80,000, okay? You know what, for married finally jointly, let me bring it up to $120,000 between my wife and I. This is just an example, that's not our real income. I just wanna show you the example. The annual contribution increase, this is really up to you, but I've been setting it to 2% for inflation, and I know inflation is not 2%, but just for the calculation, I just set it at 2%. So, and it's gonna automatically tell you if you need to do a backdoor Roth IRA, yes or no, based on the income, okay? If I bring this income up to, let's say 260,000, and then it's gonna highlight and tell me that I need to do my backdoor Roth IRA based on the modified adjusted gross income. Now, again, this calculator is great, but at the same time, you need to look back, or you need to find out what your MAGI is, okay? What it doesn't do is calculate what your modified adjusted gross income was. So you need to get that number on your own. And if you don't have that number accurately, then it's gonna tell you, inaccurate information. So you wanna make sure that you get that information correctly. And if I put 250,000, it's just a partial. So that puts me in the income phase out range, and that's why it says partially. I would have to do the backdoor Roth IRA, but from my experience, and this is not personalized advice to you, is if I am already in that income phase out range, then it's probably easier for me to just do the backdoor Roth conversion entirely instead of just doing a portion of it, okay? But let me just bring it back down to, let's say, $120,000 that my wife and I make together. Again, that's not the correct number. And right here, this is where you're gonna put the beginning balance, okay? So when I say the beginning value is you have to go to your brokerage accounts and log into your broker, click on balances, and there's always that balance tab that you can click on. And I want you to select the date that says January 1st, 2026. Then it's gonna show you what the account balance was back on January 1st, 2026, okay? And this is your traditional IRA balance if you have any. And for this example number one, I'm gonna put it 0 for right now. And for Roth IRA beginning balance, this is also, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna log into your Roth IRA website, click on balances, and click on the date on January 1st, 2026, because that was the balance that you started this year and not today after all the market performances have already gone through, right? And that's how you get the accurate information. So in this example, let's say I have $25,000 in my Roth IRA. If you guys have already watched my 10-year Roth IRA video, how much it has accrued, you can check it out on my channel, what happened to my Roth IRA after maxing it out for 10 straight years. I'm already on year 11 right now, and that video is going to show you what my balance is, okay? So this tells me I have a total balance of $25,000. And if you take a look at here, I am going to be 40 and in the year 2026, and it's going to tell me 2027, 41, 42, 43, right? It's going to show me show you the age. And then by the time, it's also going to show you what your total contributions were, catch-up contributions, what the ending traditional IRA balance was. And this right here is your total IRA contribution limit. So it's $7,500 in 2026, and the catch-up limit is $1,100 if you're over the age of 50, okay? This is the only, these are the portions that you can fill out. And let's say you wanna keep this IRA calculator for free forever. You wanna make sure that you adjust these amounts each year if the IRA contribution limit increases, okay? So if next year it goes to $8,000, then you wanna increase that. But if it doesn't, then you wanna make sure you set it to $7,500 again, and then you wanna keep changing that as you go every single year, okay? Now, the next portion of it, right here, and that was the main tab that you wanna fill out. And in the next one, this is your traditional IRA. This is important to understand too, because especially if you're looking to do the backdoor Roth IRA, right? Now, this example right now I am showing is that I have no balance in my traditional IRA. I'm gonna keep it at 0. So I'm not gonna contribute to it. I'm gonna keep it at 0, and I'm not gonna put any money into the traditional IRA. And you see that it's 0%, 0%, and the ending balance is all zeroed out, okay? The middle portion here is if I do the backdoor Roth IRA. I'm gonna show you that in the second example here. But let me go far right here as a Roth IRA. So I am going to max out my Roth IRA every single year. So all I have to do is press max. That's it, okay? So maximum Roth IRA means that I'm gonna max out my Roth IRA contributions every single year. Let's say you can't afford that. You can only put in maybe, let's say 20% of it. Oops, 20% is too much. So let's do 5%. So that would be $6,000 a year. But in this example, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna max it out every single year, okay? And I'm also gonna fill out what that age 50 catch-up contribution is. And that's gonna be $1,100, okay? And do you see that at the age of 50, it's already telling me that I need to put the age 59 and a half, but if you don't have that 5-year rule, and you open this account when you were 57, you still have to wait until you're 62 to not get penalized on the Roth earnings, okay? I hope I made that clear as mud, right? So the month and year that you become age 59 and a half, you see how it calculates it for me that on February 4th, 2046, I'm gonna be over the age of 59 and a half, and am I eligible for the tax-free and penalty-free withdrawal from my Roth earnings today? And it says no, obviously, because I'm 40, right? And I can also put the withdrawal age, and let's just say I'm gonna put it at 60, and I'm gonna take it out, let's do the safe withdrawal rate, let's say 4.7%, okay? an annual savings increase, I'll just say I'm gonna increase my savings rate by 2%, and my expected portfolio return, let's bump it up to 8%. Okay, and you can do whatever you want. You can do it at 5% if you're a conservative, 6%, 7%, 8%. I would say do it up to 10% if you want to. It's up to you on your calculation. You see how the numbers change, right? And you know, you just want to keep in mind that not every year it's going to be 10%, and it is very hard to predict what that market is going to do. But I'm just going to leave it at 8% for now. Okay, so if I max out my Roth IRA, and let's say it increases the contribution by $500 every year, which is not really realistic, but I'm just gonna make it $500 every year. And if I do 7,500, 8,000, 8,500, right? And I start doing the maximum catch-up contributions, okay? You see where it's highlighted purple? It's automatically highlights it for you when you're gonna be 59 and a half. And I'm gonna go to my ending balance here. And it's going to be about $678,000 the year before. And if I take out 4.7% of it every single year, then it's going to be about $33,000 a year. Okay, and that would be the retirement income. But this is the most important information that you need to fill out. How much of it was in Roth conversions before January 1st, 2026, and how much of it was in Roth contributions? So remember I mentioned that I opened my Roth IRA 2 years ago. And let's say I have been maxing out my Roth IRA the last 2 years. So let's say I put $14,000 of it previously in Roth contributions. So 14,000 of it is what I contributed, and 11,000 of it is what has accrued. All right, that makes sense so far, right? So it tells me by the time I am 60, 276,000 of it will be the money that I put in, and 461,000 of it is the Roth earnings. So if I retire, let's say I decide to retire at 55, and I have 209,000 and 272,000 in Roth earnings, now I know that my bridge money, early retirement bridge money, will be right here at $209,500. So if I divide it by 5, what's that? About $40,000 a year? No, is that right? Can't do my math today. So if I do 209,500 divided by 5 years, yeah, that's about $42,000 a year in tax-free income at between 55 and 59 and a half. And if I withdraw it for 5 years just from the Roth IRA contributions. Remember the ordering rule that I talked about earlier. Roth IRA lets you take money out of your contributions first. You don't get taxed or penalized for it. And then Roth earnings come second, okay? Well, actually the Roth conversion comes second, and then the Roth earnings come last, all right? So that's where you wanna figure out is where you're gonna be in your early retirement age if you're looking to retire early, let's say 45, 50, or 52, whatever you want. This is really the biggest key piece of information that you need to find out. All right. So if you, let's say you don't want to touch your Roth IRA for a while, and let me set it to 0%, and you don't want to touch it until 65. Okay. It's still going to continue to grow. Just keep that in mind. You can take out the contributions that you're not going to put money in anymore. But that piece of information, I did lock it, and you do have to become a private client to do that, because that the spreadsheet gets pretty complicated, and I don't want to overcomplicate the free version. You can always become my private client. Go to the link in the description below, and you're gonna get a personalized financial independence calculator like this, but it's much more comprehensive. But it's just gonna keep growing. The Roth IRA will keep growing year after year, and then you can keep leaving it at 65 or 70. You see how the numbers keep going up, right? And some people use Roth IRA as an inheritance tool because they want to leave it to their kids. Let's say $1 million, $2 million to their kids, tax-free. And Roth IRA is one of the greatest accounts that you can leave to your heirs because they don't have to pay any taxes on them. Traditional IRA, you have to pay taxes on them, right? So that's something that you can always kind of play around. And the other thing you can play around is, what if I start taking money out at 60 and I want to take it out at 5% instead, or maybe I want to take it out at 6%, then these numbers do adjust based on your withdrawal rate and based on the balance that you had in the previous year. So you can kind of like always play around with the numbers, okay? So let me give you another example. Let's say we are over the Roth IRA income limits because we make too much money and we are over the back, we have to do the backdoor Roth IRA, okay? Now, I have to take out this right here. I don't put any money directly into the Roth IRA anymore. That's why I have to take those out. Because if I put maximum and 1100 here, then it's gonna show you that you are putting money directly into the Roth IRA, then it's gonna give you the wrong calculation, okay? What you wanna do is you wanna go to the backdoor Roth IRA section here, and you can put maximum, and you can put 1100 right here, okay? Then it's gonna show you the conversion. Do you see it? Now it shows up under the backdoor Roth IRA conversions. Now take a look at the far right side. This is now gonna show that you have conversions happening every single year, and you don't pay taxes on the backdoor Roth conversions if you don't have a balance in your traditional IRA, right? The pro rata withdrawal. So it's gonna tell you how much money you have converted every single year, but here's the difference between conversion and Roth IRA contribution, whether you pay taxes or not. You still have to wait 5 years before you can touch that conversion because it is categorized as a Roth conversion when you do the backdoor Roth IRA conversion, okay? So this right here, let's say when you get to 55 or 60, 274,000 of that was in conversion. You would kind of have to subtract the previous 5 years of the conversions because you're not going to be eligible to take money out of those yet. So that is really the key thing that to understand between the Roth contributions and the Roth conversions, okay? And the other tool that you have, let's say you do when you retire at 60 and you decide to roll over those 401k, and let's say you had $1 million in your Roth 401k, and let's do this. Let's say you contributed $400,000 in your Roth 401k that you moved over, okay? And you have another $600,000 in Roth earnings that came from your Roth 401k. You have $1 million in there. You see how the numbers go up, right? You see how the contributions, okay, they also get added to the contributions, and I don't know if it did. I don't think it did, actually. Let me take a look here. That should have been added. You know what? I'm gonna have to make that correction. But this right here, the $400,000 should have been added to the $14,000 in Roth contribution. So sorry about that. That's something that I am going to fix and re-upload the calculator to make sure there's going to be a version 2. But this right here, the $400,000 that you rolled over, is something that you can take out early from the Roth IRA. You cannot do that with the Roth 401k, and that's why you have to initiate the rollover to your Roth IRA in order to have access to your Roth 401k early from that account. I hope that makes sense, okay? So you can play around with those numbers, and I'll fix that formula when I get a chance. And there's also the Roth earnings. And then right here, what you can do is the Roth after-tax 401k in-service withdrawal. This is more for the mega backdoor Roth. And if you're not familiar with that, check out the video on my channel. If you're a high income earner and you can actually do the maximum 401k after-tax contribution, and I described that in detail on how to do it on that video. So check it out when you get a chance. But this is going to be another Roth IRA contributions that you can check out, okay? Now, for the conversion piece, the backdoor Roth IRA, what if you have a balance in your traditional IRA? Let's say you have a rollover IRA for $10,000 from your previous employer, okay? Now that's gonna be complicated. Even if you don't put any money into it, right? And let's say it grew 6% this year. Now you have $10,600 by the end of the year. Now you have to take a look at the pro rata rate, okay? This is a rough pro rata calculation. So if you put in $7,500 for the backdoor Roth IRA, and you have a $10,600 in ending traditional IRA balance, which is in pre-tax, 58% of that is gonna be taxable from the $7,500. This is very important, and you can watch my video on that. $7,500 is not going to be completely tax-free if you have an ending balance in your traditional IRA, because now you have a mix of pre-tax money and you have a mix of a after-tax money. So the IRS looks at your entire IRA when you file your taxes every year, and you have a balance in your pre-tax money, then they're gonna tax a portion of this $7,500, or $4,400 of it will become taxable income. You don't want to deal with that, right? You don't want to pay taxes or unnecessary taxes. So there are some fixes to it if you have a existing balance in your traditional IRA. So number one is you can move this $10,600 over to your current 401k. So you can move this $10,000 out and put it into your current 401k if they accept rollovers. Okay, that is the easiest fix to do it. Now you're like, $10,000, I'm gonna convert it entirely. You can. So you can move money out of your traditional IRA and put it into the Roth IRA. But remember, this $10,000 is gonna become a taxable income as well. So, but this is gonna clear up the $0, and that $7,500 becomes tax-free. Clear as mud, right? Super easy, I'm guessing. I hope I try to explain it the best I can, but this is really the number one thing that I see people get wrong, especially with the high income earners, is that they want to do a backdoor Roth IRA conversion, but they didn't realize that they had a balance in their traditional IRA. And traditional IRA can be a rollover IRA. It can be a SEP IRA. It can be simple IRA. The IRS doesn't care. They're going to look at all of your IRA balances. And it doesn't matter if you're trying to make the backdoor Roth conversion. Let's say you have Vanguard, okay? But you have a rollover IRA with Schwab, okay? The IRS is still going to view that Schwab IRA as a pro rata. So you're going to have to roll that IRA either back to your 401k, or you can convert it entirely. Again, personal finance is very, very personal for a reason. So I encourage you to talk to either a tax professional in your local area, or I can help you out with that too. And you can sign up for the private client program. Let me make sure that I put that link in the chat, or it should be in the description. Yep, there we go. You can actually go to this website, and if you can sign up for the private client program, and it is free. You get that free consultation. We want to make sure that you are in the right place. Maybe I'm not the right right person for you. You can always find someone else. It doesn't hurt my feelings, but you can always chat with one of my guys and make sure that you are the right fit. And once you sign up to become a private client, you're gonna work with me directly. And that's really the retention rate, especially with my clients, is so high. And I have a lot of clients that have been with me for years. Once they start, it's like, they're not leaving, and love it. I wanna help them, and I wanna help you guys kind of achieve your financial independence. And not only you get this IRA calculator, but you also get the 401k calculator, TSP calculator, something like this, right? But more robust, very, very comprehensive on how things are done. So, and then it's gonna show you where you are with your financial independence, right? So are you on track to retire? Do you have a lot of debt? And that's something that I am going to kind of walk you through on which one you should prioritize first. Should you pay down your debt? Do you have a student loan? Do you have a car loan? Do you have credit card debt, kind of thing, right? So where you can kind of like work on that. But yeah, that's something that I'm working on with my clients. And that's really the reason why I haven't done the live stream throughout this year, is because I have been very, very busy with my clients, and almost every day I am working on something. So it's actually a miracle that I found time to do this. I am gonna close down. Also, to kind of let you know, I am gonna close down the one-on-one the private client program temporarily in September because we're kind of at max capacity or approaching that max capacity right now. We can only take so many clients at a time because we have so many people, right? And we don't want to get too many clients and then we don't get to, maximize the support for them. And we don't want to, we want to help every one of them, and we want to make sure that we do that at the best we can. But when it comes to September, we're most likely going to have to just temporarily close it down for because we're approaching that max capacity. So I know it sounds like advertisement, and I'm not really trying to advertise it, but I'm really trying to help as many people as I can. And I started from the Air Force when I was in the military, and I was helping people out with their finances, literally when I was at work. And they were like, "Can you take a look at my TSP real quick? Can you take a look at my IRA?" And it was really just kind of like I'm paid financial advisor at the time, and it was just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this, but you have like $50,000 in F-150 loan, dude. You're gonna have to pay that off first, and you're not really making any money when you have that much debt, kind of thing. So, but I really started with that. And I'm still connected with the veterans, and I'm still helping a lot of federal employees with their TSP and stuff like that. And I really encourage you to check that out when you get a chance. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look here in the comments. And this is being live streamed to multiple platforms, so check it out when you get a chance. But this is the link that I did post, and this is where you can check it out. Let me see. Oh, that's a good question. So my employer's plan allows me to roll over 401k money to Roth 401k. Okay? If I do this, when I leave my employer, would I be able to roll over the money into Roth 401k to my Roth IRA without any penalties? Tell me again about this rollover 401k, because is that pre-tax? So if you move money from 401k to Roth 401k, which is what's called an in-plan Roth conversion, that becomes a taxable event. So you got to be careful with that. Yes, a lot of plans, even the TSP, start allowing their participants to start doing that. But you have to realize that when you move money from the 401k to Roth 401k, it's going to become a taxable event. So that's the first question I have for you. Now, when you move money from Roth 401k to Roth IRA, no, that is not a taxable event. That is just a Roth to Roth rollover, or Roth to Roth transfer, whatever you want to call it. So that is not a taxable event. However, moving from rollover 401k to Roth 401k, if it's pre-tax to Roth, then yes, that becomes a taxable event. So you want to make sure that you don't make that mistake of, oh yeah, I'm just going to put everything into the Roth 401k and I'm fine with it. And then comes January, you're going to get that 1099-R and say, hey, you're going to owe taxes on $100,000. I have personally seen it, and by the time that happens, it's already too late. And then you're going to end up owing the IRS. I've seen $35,000 owed to the IRS because someone accidentally convert $100,000 over to the Roth 401k or Roth IRA without knowing what they're doing. So, yeah, that was a long time ago, but I've seen that happen, and it's just like, what do I do? You're gonna have to pay taxes, man. That's just how it goes. Let's see. Oh, you know what? My team and I have been working on this. The Discord. I don't have one, and I really should make a Discord chat for this. And I am not an expert in Discord by any means. I don't have a Discord account. I never really chat in it, and that is something that my team and I have discussed in the past, and say why don't we create a Discord group, you know? And I'm like, okay, you know, what happens in there? And they're like, yeah, there's a lot of discussions on even just fire and traditional fire, or people have fat fire kind of thing, you know. And someone's like, oh, it's kind of like Reddit, but, you know, do a live chat. I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know. I'm not bad with social media. I'm not bad with, you know, I think I've been doing okay with YouTube. But I am, you know, what my teenage daughter calls me, a boomer sometimes, because I don't understand some of the acronyms. Like the other day, I just found out what this acronym means. It's SYBAU. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. And she said it stands for shut your B ass up. And I was like, oh, dang, I didn't know what that, you know, what that was, because I saw it and nobody was saying it to me, but they were commenting on my YouTube channel and they were saying it to each other, saying that she said, you pronounce it Sybau, SYBAU. And then they were saying it to each other. I was like, hey, do you know what this means? And she's like, oh yeah, that means shut your BS up. I was like, oh, okay. You know, so when it comes to like social media lingos, I was like, oh man, I'm like, I'm not a very savvy guy, but I will definitely get on that and see if we can create a Discord chat for people to join for free. I don't really monetize a lot of things. And if you noticed that my channel doesn't take a lot of sponsorship, and I refuse them because I want to make it, you know, pure, right? I'm really legitimately trying to help people out. And the only way I make money is really channel membership and views, you know, and my intent from the beginning when I started this channel is to help people, help as many people out as I can. So yeah, I will definitely work on that and see how it goes. Yeah, that's awesome that you're paying off your debt, man. Get on that list. So 10% into the TSP and all that. Let's go. All right, so check it out. And I'm going to probably upload a version 2. Again, if you haven't seen the Roth IRA calculator, this is going to be on it. From my private membership group, they do have a question. Okay, yeah, so they have a question about the pro rata rate. So the pro rata, how this is calculated. Remember, it's $7,500 plus $10,600, okay? Then it's gonna calculate 7,500, I'm sorry, subtract whatever the difference is between the total sum and divided by that total sum, and it's gonna come out with 58.56%. So this is important. So 58.56% of $7,500 becomes taxable conversion. That's what it means. So if you want to pay taxes every year doing the backdoor Roth IRA conversion, by all means. But I would rather not. So the first thing you need to do is take care of this traditional IRA balance, okay? The pre-tax, after-tax mix is, it really does complicate the tax process. So make sure you take care of that. And also, when you put money, your values in here, make sure that this is, if you're going to put money directly into the Roth IRA, okay? If you're doing the backdoor Roth conversion, make sure you leave this out. And it should give you the indication that you can't. So if I put max and max there, you see how it becomes red. It's gonna let you know that, hey, you're doing a backdoor Roth conversion and you're doing the contribution at the same time. You need to clear one of them out. If you're doing the direct Roth contribution, then you need to clear this out and you need to clear this out as well. And then you can put 1,100 or whatever that catch-up contribution is when you start. And that is going to show you that you're putting money directly from your bank account to your Roth IRA. Again, if you're doing the backdoor conversion, then you put it right here and just max it out and put 1,100 here, and then you're good to go. But don't put any value here if you're just doing the backdoor Roth conversion. If you want to complicate things, you can always do a portion of the backdoor Roth conversion. You can do a portion of the Roth IRA contribution, okay? So just check it out. One more question. Does rolling over your pension from work your lump sum work. Also, where I can use my contributions with no penalties or taxes. Sorry, I don't understand your question, sir, ma'am. Does rolling over your pension from work, your lump sum work, also where I can use my contributions? Sorry, I don't quite understand. But when it comes to your pension, I don't know how your pension is structured. Every pension is different. Some pensions are in pre-tax, some pensions are in after-tax. So let's say first pension, if you're a federal employee, the first pension is actually an after-tax money. So the money that you put in is after-tax. But the earnings that accrued from the pension value, that is pre-tax. So when you move money from the federal employee pension, I don't know if you have the federal employee pension or private pension, I don't know. But if I'm just going to use the federal employee pension as an example. When you move money out of the federal employee pension, you can put the contribution into the Roth TSP if you want to, or you can put it in the Roth IRA. But the earnings portion of it, you can take it out, but that becomes taxable income. So man, something about the first pension. The federal employee pension, it's so delayed. It takes about an average of 11 months to make that rollover happen. And again, I don't know if this person is asking about the federal employee pension, but just want to bring that up. And the OPM is still kind of backed up with the retirement applications with with all the Doge that happened last year. So the average wait is about 6 to 7 months, 6-7, right? 6-7 months. Literally, it takes about 6 to 7 months, and I'm not doing that intentionally. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for that pension to come in, they're going to pay you the temporary pension income anyway, which is only really about 60% of what you're supposed to receive. And then once your application is processed, then they're going to start giving you the real pension amount. But again, I'm not sure what you're asking about your pension, but you got to take a look at your pension contribution. Is it in pre-tax? Is it in after-tax? How is it being taxed, right? I had a private pension from my previous employer. This was like back in 2020 when I left that job, and they had a private pension. I know that's kind of like a unicorn, right? Like most employers don't really have that private pension anymore. But that private pension itself had a cash value, and that was all being contributed in pre-tax money. So what I did was I moved that over to my IRA at the time. That was before I started this business. And then I put it all into my IRA. None of it was in after-tax money. And when I started this business, I set up a solo 401k, which I have I have a traditional solo 401k and a Roth solo 401k. And I moved that over to my 401k to avoid the pro rata about the backdoor Roth IRA that I mentioned earlier. So, just make sure you find out that piece of information first about the pension. It can grow. I mean, I could have left that pension alone, the private pension, right? And just leave it in there. But when I read the plan, they're like, well, you're eligible to take money out when you're 65 at about $250 a month. I'm like, well, I'm just going to put that into my IRA and let it grow 8 to 10% every year, right? It's like, that was a no-brainer for me to move that. But again, your situation is completely different from mine. And that's really what you want to find out is what, is it pre-tax, after-tax, and what kind of pension is it? Is it more robust to, is it better to take money out of your pension monthly versus, rolling that over to your IRA or something else in lump sum? That's really depends on what that plan summary document says, okay? But anyway, I gotta go. Please check out the Roth IRA calculator. I'm gonna fix some of the formulas that were in there that I caught for mistakes, and then I'm gonna upload version 2, gonna have my team do it. And if you wanna download it now, you can. It's absolutely free, but just fill out your information. And if you're truly interested in becoming a private client, it's gonna be in the description below. And you can apply for it. I'm gonna work with you one-on-one, but before that, you're gonna talk to one of my team members, and they're gonna walk you through the process and see if you're the right fit. And then you can become a private client if you choose to. But the initial process, the consultation, that's all free. After that, no, it's not free, okay? And so that's kind of like, I'm going to put in my hard work for you so that you understand what's going on with your finances. And I'm going to walk you through what you have, your financial situation, and see where you are. And I'm not going to give you like a BS, breakdown. I don't manage your assets. That's really the most common question I get is, do you manage people's assets? No, I do not. I don't like doing that, first of all. And I probably could have, but I went against doing that just because, there's just a lot of politics involved in that. Not really politically, but I just see changes in people kind of like, not giving honest advice from other professionals that I've seen. And I'm not really dogging on any investment advisor. It's just that, it's not something that I like to do. It's kind of against my principles.